Hello and welcome to Paxton Road TV. This is Paxton Road TV's preview show for the game Everton versus Tottenham Hotspurs. I am Sam Spurs for life and I'm joined in the house by Darius 352K and Super Sid Spurs. And we are now officially into the Conte regime. Good morning, gents. How are we? We all good?
Mate, Sid answered that question perfectly. Why would I not be good in this current state that we're in?
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Let's actually be happy that we can enjoy being happy as Tottenham fans for once in our lives.
Yeah, it's a very smiley, pleasy feeling that we've all got at the moment. I think Conte, having seen his press conference, and we'll get to some of that in a little bit later.
I still need to watch that, by the way, so I haven't actually watched it.
It's good. He knows the task in hand, and I think he's already mentioned he's not afraid of it. He's not scared of the work. He's not going to be intimidated by anything. He's a serial winner. We all know his personality, and that sort of kind of like showed in a not over the top in the game against Vitesse, but certainly, we saw glimpses of what we can expect from him. Very passionate, stood up, directing, all the rest of that good stuff which you expect from your manager. Arms only folded when he was just trying to, contemplate, but literally directing everything. Were you happy with what you'd seen so far, Darius?
100%. I think, especially like we said, the first, I probably definitely got carried away. I watched the game back, the highlights, and the first 30 minutes, I was in pure shock at what I was seeing. I mean, Son getting that opportunity from Romero intercepting a ball and sort of dribbling through the midfield. It was like, wow, if this is what we've to expect, then we've got 2, 3, 4 ways of attacking. And then, as I not really expected, but I think as a few fans really did expect, and I'll give credit to those fans, a lot of people said it isn't going to be easy. It isn't going to be just plain sailing. We've still got the same players, even though, and Sid, you were one of these people, still got the same players, even though you've got a world-class manager. So as proven, Eric Dyer, I do believe, was probably at fault for both of the goals. Not going to rag him, not going to get onto him, but that just shows when you haven't got sort of the elite quality to match the elite level manager, you are going to still leak goals as Tottenham. So I will say there was improvements from certain players. I think I can see that certain players are going to sort of get even better. I can also see that maybe a couple of players that we didn't think could get better, or a couple of players that we didn't think were going to be in the team anymore, like maybe Davinson Sanchez might actually find his way back into the team. So it's exciting times, really. And like you said, it's just a good feeling to be excited and see what he's going to do for this Everton game, because I think he will change it up slightly, but I think he will still keep, his principles as we know, probably see that same formation or a tweak into the 3-5-2. So I'm happy, man. I'm honestly, I couldn't be happier.
Sid, 5 days into his appointment. Question I'll ask you, what's pleased you so far with what you've seen of Antonio Conte?
I think I said this yesterday as well. The fact is he's not on the touchline, just standing there, scratching his beard, which he doesn't have one anyway. And, he's not looking hopeless, hapless, goalless. He's actually on that touchline. He's directing, like you said, Sam. There was only a couple of times where he folded his arms, but I think that was just for picture purposes. But the rest of the time,
suit was looking good though, wasn't it, Sid?
His suit looked good though. I was going to say,
very clean.
That suit looked like it was good.
Yeah. So he's basically, he's doing the things. He's actually talking to the players, shouting instructions to the players, and he's telling them this is what you should be doing. And he's a guy with a plan. Substitutions made when he needed to make them. So yeah, everything's good, but Darius has already picked up on that. I did say, didn't I? We've got a new manager in, we've got top class manager in. It's going to take a bit of time. The players have to now adapt to him, and all the lazy ones are going to have to now put something up their backside, because boy, that dynamite ignition is going to get lit, and there's going to be some people flying up in the air if they don't listen to what he's got to say. And I'm reading all this about dietitian stuff as well, that he's putting posters up and little notes to say, boys, this is what you're going to be eating. This is what you're eating. This is this, that, the other. So yeah, it's looking promising. I mean, we're only a couple of days into it yet, so it's new, but the times, it's like, what's his name? Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. Every morning you're waking up with a smile, because we know we got Conte, so it's nice.
It's a nice feeling, and what I do like about Conte is his honesty. He's got some real honest answers in his press conference. When I used to look at Nuno, Nuno gave a stock answer. It's about we. It's not about the single players. It's about we. It's all. And he never veered from that. Now I understand about protecting players. I understand about that. But sometimes you just got to be honest with the press. And if you do that, like with Conte, they engage with you. They're going to give him opportunities. He's made it clear. I need time. I need time. I need time. He said that. So they're not going to get on his case. And if he loses the next game or has a bit of a blip somewhere, they're not going to go, oh, look at that. It's the wrong appointment. Obviously, the press do what the press are going to do. But Conte is so skilled at that. And his demeanor, he just comes across as a really...
He's confident in himself, isn't he?
Confident, but respectful. But you know you can't mess about with him. So that's what I love about him. He's a man that means business. And let's look at now the form. So the form going into this game for us. So we're in 9th place at the moment. Lost the last 2 games. Obviously, the last game being against Manchester United. We all know what happened after that. Hence the reason why we're talking about Antonio Conte. But Everton, so far at this moment in time, 10th place, 14 points, but haven't won in the last 4 games. Lost the last 3. A number of injuries, a number of players out. And I think you mentioned it earlier, just a minute ago, Sid, about the players. You know, some of these players are going to have to wake up. What players or which players do you think are happy with this appointment? And then I'll ask you the reverse of that. Which players you think might not be so happy that Antonio Conte is in the building? Right.
So players that are happy and not happy at the same time. I'm going to answer the first one. The answer not happy and happy at the same time is Harry Kane, because he's going to be happy. He's got a world-class manager that's come in finally, that's going to hopefully try and get him scoring goals again. And on the flip side, he won't be happy because he's now going to tell him, I want you 100% fit, 105% fit. And I also hope he tells him, don't come back to defend. Stay where you need to be. I did it with Lukaku. I'm going to do this with you. You're my striker. Score the goals. And Ndombele, I'm hoping he'll be happy with him because he was after him at Inter Milan. He wanted him there as well.
Good point.
So I'm thinking, and Ndombele is going to be thinking, you know what? This is now my opportunity to get into that team and do what I need to do, because this manager has come in. He wanted me. He wanted to sign me at another club. Now I've not left the club and he's come. So that's another one. I think Lo Celso, it might be one who might probably, I think I said this yesterday, they're going to assess him. Dele, we discussed yesterday, he's going to be in the middle because he doesn't know what to expect from Conte. Dyer, I think, will probably might be unhappy because his position might now be at on the
under
edge.
threat. Yeah,
under threat. Doherty definitely not going to be happy because I think, Ben Davies, I think, is another one, and I think somebody who now should be really, really happy, and I hope he is Sessegnon, because now we need to find out what's going on, because this man can't be injured for that long. 100% cannot be injured, and I think Lloris will be very happy as well.
Yeah.
And
do you think Lloris will sign a new contract, Sid?
Yeah, you see, this is me and Sean discussed this. Simon discussed this yesterday. Last couple of games, I think Lloris has been immense. Some of the saves that he's made are world class. He's always been a world class keeper. He's got 1 year left on his contract. Under Nuno, I personally think he would have left in the summer. I think he would have gone either way. But now Conte's come in. I personally think he's going to sign the extension. I think Lloris is going to stay.
You think Lloris is going to stay? I don't think so. Let me, before I come to you, Darius, just going to add in this person here. So we're going to do some rearranging of the screen because I feel uncomfortable with the screen like this because I'm used to seeing Hustler up there. I'm used to seeing Darius in that left corner there, and I'm used to seeing Sid. So I have to rearrange it. Sorry about that. Welcome, Mike. Hustler. I heard Sid last night on Arsenal giving it Hustler. Whatever you was calling him was not Hustler.
He had a couple of bevies last night, didn't he?
You know what?
He was puzzled.
Mate, you need to change your name because there's too many H's in there, and I was just getting.
There's a lot of H's in that name, is what I get to say.
Hotspur.
I had the same thing last night. Hustler. Anyway, let's get back to the show. That's enough of that joking and fussing about. Right, let me get the screen back up again. So we were just in the process of talking about what players might be happy. Let's move on to this So these are the last 5 matches that we played against Everton. 2-2 draw. The last game, 1-0 loss. And then we've been unbeaten in the 3 games previous to that. So it's an okay record, I guess, equal for both teams in terms of 1 win each. I think we have to look at the games away only being 2 in the last 5, both of them being draws. But Everton tomorrow have got a number of players out. Decore's out definitely. Calvert-Lewin's out definitely. There's a few others as well, notable. I'm not sure if Alan's playing, whether or not he's playing tomorrow.
Yerry Mina is out as well, I believe.
Yerry Mina, that's a big miss for them as well.
Isn't there?
Yeah. So, again, this is an opportunity. Again, I say it's an opportunity. Conte has a team that's maybe lacking in confidence in themselves in Everton, obviously having lost the last 3. So maybe it's a good game. Maybe it's a good game to be away from home to see what these players are like. And I was just asking a question, Mike. What players might be happy with Conte's appointment? Who do you think is going to be, yay, I'm really happy, and then there's going to be players like, oh god damn, it's Conte. Who do you think that might be?
Do you know what? I don't think there's going to be any players thinking negatively towards Conte's appointment. I think they're all going to think new manager, top class manager, and it's a new chance for them to impress. I don't think any of them will be sort of in a better position than the next. I think Conte will just come in and be like, right, I'll make the decision as to who's good, who's bad, who do I want to get rid of, who do I want to keep, etc. Our strengths, our weaknesses. I don't think he'll sort of go on reputations or anything like that. So I don't think there'll be any players in that squad that'll be thinking, oh god, it's Conte. I think they'll all be thinking along the same lines. It's a new start. Do what you can to impress the manager. If you can get a tune out of who was it who went to Man United from Man United to Inter Milan? Ashley Young. If you can get a tune out of Ashley Young at his age, he can get a tune out of all these lots. So
yeah, I think
don't get me wrong. When I say that, there is obviously players who I don't particularly care if they go or
you
not.
Don't want to get a tune out of some of these players, right?
Yeah. So
well, there's not going to get a tune out of all of these players. We know that. There's certain players you can't get tunes out of. No matter what you do, you can retune them, you can restring them, you can do anything to them. You ain't getting tunes out of certain players. So I don't think, as you said, Mike, I don't think anybody's going to be like, oh, it's Conte, he's a bad manager.
It shouldn't.
I think there's going to be players that are going to think, damn, am I good enough? That's what I think. Am I good enough to be in this squad and this team? Now, we've all had our debates about which players are good enough and what's not good enough. There's one player that I think I've been on the right negative about him, but I'm now, could he become a player? Because I think the centre backs are very important in this squad. So I don't think any of them are going to be unhappy. I think Davinson Sanchez over this next coming weeks, we'll see whether or not he can improve under Conte. And if he does, we really have got a good setup there. What's your thoughts on that, Darius, in terms of the centre-backs? Do you think they are all looking forward to be rotated? Do you think he's going to select a 3 and stick to that 3? What's your thoughts?
I'm going to be honest with you. If you are going to play 3 at the back, you're going to need 5 centre-backs, in my opinion, in your squad, because playing 3 centre-backs, obviously, an increased amount means you're going to have more support. So I think, if I'm looking at the centre-backs you've got now, I think Davis is only there because he's left-footed, if I'm being completely honest. So as soon as you get a new left-footed centre-back, he's out the door, in my opinion. Dyer, again, borrowed time, just got experience, been with the club. I think he probably will stay, even if Conte doesn't think he's good enough, just to be, one of the 5 centre-backs. Because I think Dyer is good to have around the changing room, and I think he will understand that what we as fans want and what we as fans really are here for.
And you can play him in certain games.
And he can play in certain games. Again, like when we're dominating teams, which I do think we'll start to do a lot more against, your Norwiches and your teams lower in the table who will respect us now. Conte's here. I think Dyer will be perfectly fine for those games. Sam, I agree with you with Sanchez. I think Sanchez, if Conte can get a tune, if anyone can get a tune out of him, it'll be Conte. And also, I think the same thing with Romero. If he's with or if they're partnered with as a more level-headed centre back, I think you'll see a lot more out of Sanchez because he's quick. He's got good distribution because his long balls are very good, Davinson Sanchez. He can play a very good long ball. And he works hard and he fights. So I think he's everything Conte wants. It's just, can he cut out those mistakes? Can Conte get that out of him? If he can, he's a perfectly fine centre-back in there. And I still think we need 2 more centre-backs. So I think you'll probably see, and Rodon, I forget about Rodon, but I just don't see really how we'll probably get into the team unless...
What about Tanganga?
Again, Tanganga, I think he should be our right centre-back, but I just think that he would rather see a right-sided centre-back of Dyer and Emerson. I don't think Emerson would work.
About Dyer, though?
The fact that he can speak Portuguese and Emerson can speak Portuguese because Emerson's Brazilian. I think that communication goes under. I really think it's underappreciated. The fact that the whole line can all speak the same language. I believe that they can all speak Spanish as well, but I just think that's so incredibly important for actually helping organize the system. I do believe that Tanganga and Emerson is maybe a little bit naive because you did see in that game sort of those players getting in behind that right side, and Tanganga is a good defender, but I don't know. I just think
even if Dyer is the weakest link in that back line, would that still make him a starter in the team just because he speaks Portuguese? Because I agree with you. I agree with what you're saying. But if he continues to make them similar type of mistakes,
if Conte won't allow that. I definitely think that he'll drop him but that's what I'm saying. If we're conceding 2 goals that are as a result of Dyer on a weekly basis, then it's impossible for him to stay in the team. But I mean, we're in November now. I think a lot of these players have got 2 months to sort of get their ideas together, because I do believe, and reputable sources have said that there will be a couple of signings, if not confirmed for summer, coming in January.
100% there'll be a centre back coming.
There's a centre back coming in January, in my opinion, and I do believe there'll be a centre mid and potentially a striker, at least, if not confirmed for the summer, coming in for January. So these players will know that, and I think they'll realise that if they don't put their ideas up, that, for example, like I said, certain players for me, I know that people are saying that Winks could have a potential renaissance, but him, Lo Celso and Ali, I've got no more time for. I think that you can get funds for all of them and reinvest quite intelligently. So I just think that they'll look at that and see and realise that these opportunities are there to be taken.
Let me ask Mike, do you think, even though Harry Kane's come out and said, the great appointment, blah, 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 do you think he's genuine in what he said, or do you still think that Harry Kane potentially may want to depart the club? As I said, I can't see why he wouldn't. Sorry, I can't see why he would want to go earlier than next summer. So all this talk about January, I can't see that happening. But do you think maybe he's going to wait to see what happens, or do you think his mind's made up, he wants to go and he's just not going to see the best of Harry Kane? What's your thoughts?
I think this appointment changes a lot of things for Harry Kane. You've already seen there's been comments, rumours, reports, whatever you want to call it, that Kane's very excited about this appointment, and he has said that it shows the club's ambition. It's going to be interesting. I think, I mean, we're still in every competition. We're still we 6th in the league, 7th in the league, 5 points off.
Ninth.
But we're 5 points off top 4.
5 points off top 4.
2 points off Man United. 2 points off Man United, who are in 5th as well. So we're not far off. We're 5 points off West Ham.
So if we win tomorrow,
it's the goal difference, though. -7 goal difference. That's what I'm worried about.
See, Sean's made a good point about
that'll change.
Sean's made a good point about the homegrown players, though. So we're just going back to the point we're talking about certain players that might be having to depart the club. This is a very big point about the homegrown players. Maybe this is why some players have remained at the club. Maybe this is why
I personally don't think so, because I look at the academy. I mean, you bring in Devine, you bring in Markande if he decides to choose England. You bring in Scarlett, and that's 3 players that can replace him straight away. So
they're already in the first team squad, aren't they? So I think
Skip's come in now, Sessegnon. I think that we're fine for homegrown players. I think that we could probably bring in one more if we needed to anyways. I actually don't think homegrown is an issue, to be honest. But I think it'd be more worrying trying to sell foreign players to get in foreign players as opposed to keeping the homegrown number in it. So
okay. Let me just read out this message from our member. And if you want to become a member of Paxton Road, please see our tabs on our channel. Jack Kanicki, welcome, Jack. Morning, gentlemen. I feel like Harry has been given a new lease of life. And what I want to go into is just what Conte said about Harry Kane when he was asked in his press conference. One of the reporters asked, is Harry Kane going to be playing in this number 9 position. Conte's talked about that Harry Kane obviously being a player that he really admires, but needs to be playing higher up. This is what he had to say about that when he was asked.
Also for the national team, and Harry is a really good player, and for sure we have to work. We have to work with him, but with all the players to improve this situation. And I have seen in these few days that we need to work. We need to work a lot to improve many aspects, and for every single player, and not for only 1, 2, 3. And I think that this squad has to work to improve his physical condition, to go into my idea of football, to have more order on the pitch, and to be not so emotionally during the game, to improve the capacity also to suffer.
The man used words like suffer. I love that. When he talks about suffer.
He used the word kill. He used the word kill in this first one. He said, "Once if there's a team that's dead, you got to kill them." And I said, "You know what? I just love that. I love
them. I love that. That means he's not messing about. What I took from the interview, if you guys haven't seen it, and I do implore you to watch it because it's about 16 minutes long. He used the words, "We have to work a lot. We have to work." Yeah. Even when he was directed to questions about Harry Kane, it always come back. We need to work a lot. We need to work. These players have got to do something different to what they've been doing previously. So my question is for the games coming up. What's he seen in these 5 days that he's been there? Obviously, you can go by the stats and see all the running stats and all the rest of it, but he must have seen something in these 5 days he's been here. And I'll ask you first, Darius. What do you think he's going to see, or what's the biggest transition that he's going to need to make for this team to improve in his eyes?
In my opinion, and I got this from just that little clip there, I think he's realized that our dependence on Harry Kane and more just individual plays is too much. And I think he's going to create a system that isn't dependent on one player or 2 or 3 players. Because I know if you look at Tottenham over the past 10 years of managers, you take out sort of the best players in your team. And I know you could say that for a lot of teams, but you take out Harry Kane and Son, and it was like there was no hope. And I think Conte is going to now bring in a system and a mentality to where everybody is contributing and everybody is a part of this system. And if you do lose a Harry Kane, you can bring in somebody who's obviously not going to be of the same quality, but of a similar quality, and you won't see that drop off. Because I just think that it's important to have amazing players and world class players, and it's not a bad thing to sort of base your team around players like that. But it is a bad thing if you lose that player and you've got nothing else to fall back on, you've got no other game plan. So for everybody else to sort of contribute, I read a stat that when Conte was at Chelsea, I think there was 11 different scorers of goals, or I think 8 players scored 3 or more goals. So that's something I want to see improve as well. So getting all the players into chances to score and chances to attack is what I want to see. So I think that what he said there is everybody has to work hard, everybody has to contribute, and everybody will contribute if you want to succeed. And it's not just sort of watching Harry Kane pick up the ball and play a through ball. So I liked it. I like what I hear. I really do like what I hear. He's not really said a bad thing yet. So
no,
yeah.
Let me ask Mike, what do you think then is going to be his main focus? Is it going to be the focus on getting these players fit, or is it going to be to get them to transition to this 3 at the back? Because I think that's going to be the way forward for them. What's going to be I say they're both important, obviously, but if he's going to have to work on something immediately, what can he change that could be? Is it going to be the fitness, or is it going to be working on this formation?
It's a good question, because you need to be fit to play that formation, especially the full, both the wing backs. They're going to have to be. I mean, it's not a case of 45 minutes. Job's done. They're going to have to be able to run 90 minutes up and down that flank. And even the fullback, even not fullbacks, even the 3 centre backs, they're going to need to be. They're going to need to be fit, because they're going to be covering a lot of ground in that last third. I think first and foremost, I'm going to go with work on the formation, because the players should have a level of fitness to to sort of get them by. I mean, the Premier League footballers, aren't they? So they're going to have at least some form of fitness to be able to compete at that level. So I would say probably learn to transition into the formation that is required of them. And I think the fitness will come. I mean, not only with playing 90 minutes, but you'll get fitness from that, match fitness from that, and match sharpness. Yeah. But I mean, he's brought 3 coaches in, fitness coaches in. You don't bring 3 fitness coaches in if you ain't going to be doing anything with them. So those boys are going to be, they're going to be getting, well, pammed.
Dumbele, he's shaking, he's quaking.
They're going to be getting pammed. I mean,
those odd
bleep tests they might have done under Nuno, that's going to be a thing of the past. These boys are going to be.
I do feel for them. But no, I don't feel for them because they should. You should have a level of, you know, it's the stats have proved the teams that run the most, the teams that, you know, put that effort in terms of when they've coupled that with the right formation, the right manager, the right players. Do you know what I mean? They will obviously do well. You look at Liverpool, you look at City, they're one of the hardest working teams. And I'm going to come to Sid then. What do you see tomorrow in terms of how our formation, how our tactics, how our new manager might affect Everton? Do you think they're going to have a detrimental effect on how they might approach the game?
I think I'm going to see dead people tomorrow under Conte. But, you know, just quickly going back onto the fitness and the stuff, I think he's going to obviously hire Dele Alli and Fernando Torres now for the fitness, because them two, fitness-wise, mate, them two are on par, aren't they? So they're going to get them in. But I think Everton, going into tomorrow's game, right? Did we say there's about 4 or 5 players missing tomorrow for them? Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. I just want to read this. That's probably why he's brought 3 fitness coaches. He's got one for Dele, one for Tanguy, and one for the rest of the squad.
Dele don't need one. Dele's doing his fitness. He's the main one. Dele's training some of these people. But yeah, Tanguy's going to be probably one of the main ones for fitness levels. But did somebody say Everton have got about 4 players missing tomorrow?
Yeah, it's about 4.
It's about 4.
Okay,
yeah, mate.
I've lost.
Oh, you've lost it. We'll come back to you. If you can hear us, Sid, we'll come back to you.
No, I can hear you now. I'm back now. I'm back.
Oh, yeah. I think okay.
you all froze for some reason. I don't know what it was. But I think Everton tomorrow, I think the negatives for them is going to be they're missing a few players. They're playing at home. They're going to have the fans on their back, and especially Rafa's back. And having a Tottenham team under Conte, they're going to be thinking, you know what, we're already not winning 4 games. We're not playing well. And now we're going to have a resurging Tottenham under Conte coming to us with Kane and Son hopefully on fire and Mora. There's going to be massive problems. So I think Everton did not want to play us tomorrow. I think this fixture's come at the wrong time for them. So there's going to be a lot of negativities in that ground. And I think on the pitch and with the players. Calvert-Lewin's not playing as well. So he's a major miss for them. So unless something drastic happens tomorrow for them, I think we should, and I'm saying this, we should win comfortably.
Well, I'm very interested to know what team's going to play tomorrow, based on the fact that he's had this one team, he's put that out, and we all probably scratched our heads at a couple of the choices he made. But obviously, he's the manager, he's world-class manager, so I'm not telling him what to do. But Darius, do you think that there might be, and we'll probably have that if Darius is going to do his lineup show later on. What do you do? You think there's going to be many changes for tomorrow's game?
That's a good question. No Davis, because of the way that Everton play. They're going to fling balls in the box. So I think he's going to go for whoever's going to really win a header, which means you probably want to see no Dyer, but Dyer will probably be playing. I also think that it will be less of a 3-4-3 and more of a 3-5-2. I think who comes in, I don't actually know, because I don't know if Ndombele will come into that team. I don't. Not that you won't trust him, but I just don't know if Ndombele will start. So probably I could probably see Lucas playing the 10 or maybe even Lo Celso starting just for that sort of energy. But I would like to see Tanguy start behind Son and Kane, and I think you could really pretty much like we said, Everton are almost down and groggy on the ropes at the moment. I think Conte will notice that and realize that they've got players out, and I think. Personally, I think he's going to go for it, and I think he's going to say, you know what, let's kill this team, let's get them out of the way, finish them off, and then players can come off, formations can change, you can play a bit deeper into that second half. But if you get 3 goals in the first half and not concede 2 like we did, it just sets you up for a much better game. And I'll feel much more confident, 1, playing 3 at the back, and 2, having Antonio Conte as my manager, being 3-0 up, than obviously what happened with Jose and West Ham and multiple other things. So yeah, maybe 2 or 3 changes, but not that much from that lineup, I don't think, at all.
Mike, who do you want to? I've got to again. Who do you want to see play tomorrow, and who do you think will possibly might make a debut under Conte? Because I'm not quite sure if he's going to play the 3-4-3 unless he changes and maybe brings more and more central. But then is he more of a? Is it better to bring someone like Tanguy into that? The reason I say that is because Vitesse did get joy through the middle of us with that 3-4-3 system. Maybe we just need to have one more in there. So the 3-5-2, as Darius has said, might work into our favour, particularly playing away from home. And I think that's the point. Playing away from home, it might need that. What's your thoughts on that?
I think he keeps the same side apart from Davis. I think Davis, like Darius said, I can't see him playing, especially if Everton are quite direct in their play, because you would single out Davis as the weak link and pick on him. So I think there'll be a change there. But if he goes 3-5-2, I think Moura will start, just in the fact that he's got so much energy. He's fit as well.
Experience as well.
I think he'd start. I honestly do think he'd start. If it goes 3-5-2, I think Moura starts just in behind the. I'm assuming it'd be Kane and Son. Unless he was a little bit like, you know what, I'll go with Moura and Kane up front, and I'll play Son in behind. I don't know, but
or play Kane in behind. What do you think of that?
Nah.
Kane just... Mike's never actually said he wants to see Kane in that 10.
I think you'll see that when Kane turns about 31, 32.
He's a little bit. Yeah, I agree. Maybe when the later stages of his career, you'll see him maybe perhaps drop
what Rooney did
back.
Yeah. Sid? I was going to ask Sid, what do you see as any changes in terms of the formation, maybe line up for tomorrow?
I've got a feeling that tomorrow. No, honestly, I've got this inkling he's going to try and you all going to laugh at this, right? But I've honestly, if he doesn't use Tanguy behind them 2, I've got a funny feeling he's going to put Ali there.
Interesting.
Are you there?
I reckon he's going to try Ali behind Kane to try and get him to run behind Kane and that. I've got a funny feeling.
Is that more wishful thinking?
That's wishful thinking.
It's wishful thinking.
It's got to be.
It's wishful thinking, but I also see it could be a possibility. You know what, we got Tanguy there, but you never say never. And like we were all saying, Conte is going to come in and give everyone a new lease of life, and everyone's going to have to prove themselves. Wishful thinking, but I've got a funny feeling that Dele could appear as a number 10.
I think there's more chance of you starting, Sid.
So.
Just behind the striker as well.
Listen, never say never. I'm a goalkeeper anyway. I'll take Boris's place.
I agree 100% with that comment from Mike. There's more chance of you playing in that game tomorrow, Sid, than there is Dele Alli. But let's just wait and see. Let's not make too many assumptions. Right, this is going to be it now. This is going to be it. Here we go. You know what's coming then. You know what's coming next.
I'm so excited for this.
Now, Darius 352K. Well, you've been the voice of doom over the last month or so. Are you going to be the voice of doom continuing? We're going to come to you first.
Oh,
you are first up to bat on this one. What's your thoughts, Mr. Darius 352K?
I think you're not going to be happy with this. I'm actually confident. Not confident enough to give a clean sheet. Let's not go that far. By the way, Man City have just scored. It's 1-0 to Man City.
We're getting off soon anyway. We're going to get off soon.
Not confident enough to give a clean sheet yet. After what I saw against Vitesse, and I know Vitesse weren't that bad, but it's Vitesse. If we're conceded 2 goals that quickly, then there's no way we're keeping clean sheets that easily yet. So I'm going to go 3-1 Tottenham. I think Sonny is going to have an insane season. I think Sonny I think Kane will obviously get 20 goals now. I do think Kane will probably get 20 goals in the league now, but I think Son's going to do something crazy. I think he's going to have an absolutely insane season. And yeah, he's been pretty much scoring in every game, really, that we can actually conjure a shot on target. So yeah, no, 3-1. I'm confident. Look at that. Can you imagine? Can you actually? Christ. I don't know if I've actually. Oh, it was an own goal. Actually, can't believe I'm saying that. Can't believe I'm saying that. But 3-1. 3-1.
The world's gone crazy. Darius is predicting a 3-1 Spurs win. That means we're all going to have to reverse our decisions now because it might mean we lose. I'm going to come. Only joking. I'm going to come to Mike. What's your thoughts then, Mike, on the score for tomorrow?
If we have Son, Mora, Kane, Stein, I do think obviously Ndombele is by far the more superior footballer than Mora, but those three, they cause a lot of trouble. I know you could say it's only Vitesse. I mean, they'd probably struggle. Well, they would probably struggle in the Premier League, but those three look quite good, and that's saying something because they haven't looked good at all this season. So I'm relatively confident that those three will open up Everton's back line, and I'm going to go 2-0.
What?
Ooh. 2-0.
This is what's funny about Spurs, right? Like we saw it at Vitesse. When with Conte coming in, and it's like he's unleashed the reins on them. They opened up Vitesse with relative ease. I know Everton are going to be a different kettle of fish, but if they open up Everton like they did Vitesse, then there's no reason why we couldn't get more than three goals. But I'm going for solid 2-0.
Like the best strikers up front as well. That's the thing. We've got two of the best finishers in the world, not even in the Prem. So it's like if there's opportunities, I don't see how we're not going to score now.
And they're going to be hungry. I
like Juice Nuts comment here. Toffees won. Conte kill him FC, because that's what he said. You got to kill him. So Mike's he's going 0-2. So another Spurs victory there. Let's come to the Delhi Whisperer. Sid, what's your thoughts?
What did Darius say? What was your score prediction, Darius?
I said 3-1, my friend.
3-1.
Somehow, and that was to Tottenham, by the way. To Tottenham.
Yeah. Right. This one's just for Jews nuts, yeah.
Be careful how you say that, Sid. Just be careful how you say that. You're only going to get us bloody.
And before we get copyright, I'm just about to say that.
Christ. All right, Sid.
Anyway,
enough music now. We're going to bloody get copyrighted for that bollocks.
No, that's my music. I made it up. My boy's playing in the background. Right. Do you know what? The fact that they've not won in 4 games, I think it is Everton. And they're at home. The fans are going to be on their backs. But who gives a shit about that? We got Conte. I'm going to go. See, the problem with me is, as much as I want Spurs to keep a clean sheet, I just can't see us keeping clean sheets. This is the problem. That is the major problem. So I'm going to go with 2-0, 3. I'm going to go with 2-1 to Spurs. Right. And I would say, I think Son will score. And I think Lucas Moura will score. And I think Dele's going to come on with 10 minutes to go. And he's going to do something. I don't know what, but he's going to do something.
He's going to run.
He's going to run.
He's going to hand out the oranges at half time.
He's going to do what Marlon said, run into the box.
It's still one of the funnest comments. Yeah, he's going to do bits.
To me, you cannot.
He's going to run into the box.
You cannot beat that comment.
Dele did well.
Ever.
He made him run into the box.
That's the best comment. I wow. Sorry, Marlon. If you're watching, Marlon, we will never ever get over that ever, and that has got to be as part of our next promo. Going back to that, so you're saying 0-2. So yeah, everybody's gone for a Spurs win so far. I'm agreeing with that, but I agree with what you're saying in terms of comments here. I think both Sid and Darius have given a goal to Everton. I'm going to give Everton a goal just for the fact that being at home, but I can see us scoring 3 goals tomorrow. I'm going to go 1-3. I'm going to go 1-3 like Darius. I think we're going to have no
goal difference.
He's a flipping hell.
It's goal difference because at the end of the day, -7. If you look at the table, it's the worst by far in that top 10. Yeah. And I'm telling you now, if it's anything like last season and the fact that West Ham finished, 6th place and were 2 points off top 4, goal difference will be a big factor. So I think Conte will be thinking, if I've got any chance of even potentially getting into the top 4, I've got to get those goals up. At least to get to a positive goal difference, because -7, I mean, that is not good. That really is not good. So no, I think that's what he's looking at.
And I think you made a point earlier, Darius, as well, didn't you, that Conte likes his team, everyone to score. He doesn't want just one person to score. Yeah. He wants different players to score. So I think he's going to instill that in all of them as well, to say, you know what, guys,
all contribute
100%.
Oh, well, I'm excited.
This is a real loving show. We've all agreed that we're going to win tomorrow. Darius has even said. I never go against the grain. Sometimes I have that feeling in my heart that, you know what I mean, we might draw it, but I can't go against my team. But in reality, we've had some pants games. So I'm looking forward to the football. I'm looking forward to the tactical masterpieces that Conte is going to show us. I'm looking forward to him working out which players he can really trust, which players, and we'll see this. I think his team selections will show us which players I think we know them, but I think there's going to be players here that we're just going to say, yeah, definitely can't play at this club anymore. But we might get 1 or 2 surprises in terms of gems of players that we thought, and I think Davinson Sanchez is going to be one of them. Yeah. Gentlemen, I think we've done enough today, because we've got to see if Man United get pammed today. That's one thing I want to be able to say to Errol, if you're watching on Monday. Mr. B, we've got Conte and you haven't. You still got Ollie at the wheel.
And you know what? You know what's funny as well? Ever since Conte was being linked, Ole's now suddenly played 3-5-2 because he's playing the same formation again today. So, just let that be known, Man U fans.
Just let that sink into Man United fans. You could have had our manager and you chose to keep Ole. Just let that sink in, really sink in.
What's going to be the worst thing? The rumours are, if they lose today, he could be out. So, you know what?
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Okay. Can you imagine?
Just quickly, there's been a couple of rumours that Frank Kessie, that deal's over, that's been agreed verbally.
Wow.
Has it?
Yeah, there's been a few rumours flying around, and Vlahovic is another one that apparently.
I think that's going to be the one.
Well, apparently a verbal agreement's been made, but I don't know how true it is. It's just rumours.
Because Arsenal was suddenly linked with Vlahovic, but I think that what's going to happen is I think that Conte and Paratici are going to be like, we need to make a statement, and I do believe that, like I said in the last show, names make a difference. Jose brought in a few players that I never thought we'd even think about coming here, so. I think names make a difference. And I think that if you, as an Italian Serie A player, saw literally the Serie A winner from last season join Tottenham, I don't think you care who Tottenham are, where Tottenham are. I think you say, I'm going to play for Conte.
I think we could do a talking points on that, because I think there's been some deals done that's made Conte sign this contract that he's signed. So I think they've already done some background stuff with Paratici. Sorry, go on, Sid.
No, go on, finish off.
No, all I was saying is I think there's been some background deals done. I think Paratici spoke with Conte and said, listen, I've got this player coming, and what do you thought? And he's probably said, well, try and get this player. If you can get this player sorted out, then maybe I'll come. And he's probably done some stuff. So Kessie might be one of them. Skriniar might be another one.
It's only 165k a week, that Kessie deal as well, which is what's really
8.5.
165k a week is nothing on a free deal. I mean, Levy will pay that 100%. So, and he's a fantastic player. He's 24. I mean, if he comes in the summer, that's already.
He's a good penalty taker as well.
I like his penalties. He just walks up like Pogba does as well, doesn't he? So
yeah, he does.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited.
Okay, then, lads. Well, I think we need to go now, because I want to go and watch this Man United game. So as I said before, Hotspur. I can't get over that one from yesterday. That was a great one.
Whatever.
He's had enough.
He's had enough.
End the broadcast now.
Hotspur Hustler, Sid Spurs, Darius 352K. I'm Sam Spurs for life. This has been your preview show. Everton game versus our beloved Tottenham tomorrow, 2:00 kickoff. Look out for that. And then a reaction show tomorrow as well. Also look out for Judge Jodi player ratings on Monday. And Darius's 352K's lineup show later
3
o'clock.
Today. Just after the Man U game, I'll say, because I want to watch the game.
Fabulous. Cool. Right, that is it, gentlemen. Bye-bye.